Way, I tell you, don't know how close that was. I didn't have my notes ready. I've just started to run out of the room and go and get them. But we're here. Good evening. Welcome along to another edition of the Sunday Bunch live on SCFC Fan TV. Don't forget, of course, because we are live, you can join in the show via the live chat if you would like to do so. Joining me tonight, Dino, Terry, and Lee over in Spain. Dino, how's your day been?
Same as normal, played football and just watched the football and then this. So boring, really.
Sure. Well, that's good to hear that you've had a boring day. Terry,
boring
how's your
day.
day been?
Yeah, it's been canny. Been for a couple of walks today, run, so just chilling out, trying to get over yesterday's disappointment.
Right, and Lee, how's the rain in Spain?
Plenty of rain in Spain, mate. It's been a cold week this week.
Yes.
Temperatures have dropped down. We had a bit of snow
Yes.
as well.
Keep
So
going,
I
keep
just took it
going.
easy this weekend and stayed in. Got a takeaway last night, and I won't go as far as Kelly Brook and I'm a Celebrity when she said it's the best thing I've had in my mouth for a long time, because it was nice, but it wasn't that good.
Right. Well, I always love it when it rains in Spain, unless I'm on holiday. Quick mention to Tony Lee. First up there tonight, all right, Monkey and the team, shit weekend, Sunderland lose, Aussies humiliate England in the Ashes, and the horrible Mags win as well. Hello to Be Well, honey. Our very own Emma is on there. John Swinney down in New Zealand. Not the result we wanted. Put it all behind us and move on. Taffy Mackham. We don't see a lot of Taffy Mackham nowadays, but if Carlsberg don't do shite weekends, but if they did, there you go. And Tam on there as well. So before we start, we do need to give a massive shout out to our sponsors for the season, who are wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There is a link in the description if you want to go and check out the website. Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. Not a good weekend, really. But unchanged side, fourth time in a row. Were you happy when you saw the starting lineup, Terry?
Well, yeah, end of the day, I was quite happy. I didn't think there was going to be many other changes. I might have thought playing against a lesser side like Fulham, no disrespect to Fulham, that would have went 4-3-3 rather than having five at the back and be a little bit more adventurous. But no, we stuck with the five at the back. That worked, very well against Arsenal.
Is that it? That was a sudden ending, wasn't it?
I know.
Right,
I feel very sad today, Philly. I do feel very... Apparently, I'm not allowed to be upset if we get beat. By some people say I should just take it on the chin and move on to the next game. I'm not allowed to be sad if Sunderland get beat and Newcastle win. Really ruined my weekend. It absolutely ruined my weekend anyway.
Well, you sound a bit bitter there, Terry, mind.
Ruined me Saturday anyway, put it that way.
Right, okay. Lee, unchanged side again. Were you happy with the lineup when you saw it?
I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, Philly? Because if you look at our last four matches, we played that five at the back. It worked against Chelsea, didn't work against Everton until we pushed up high the pitch. Worked well against Arsenal, but I was a bit disappointed. I'm a bit with Terry. I think we should have gone with the back four against Fulham. And I think in the end we just sat too deep. We didn't press the same high press as we did against Arsenal and Chelsea, and it was the same against Everton. We just let Everton come onto us and we didn't high press them. And I think, it was just disappointing that we didn't show the same commitment as we did in the previous match. But yeah, I would have gone for a 4, Philly back 4.
Right, okay. Unchanged side, Dino, were you happy with it, or do you think there should have been changes made?
I mean, you can't really change a team what's being drawn against Arsenal, beating Chelsea and stuff like that. So you can't really change it. I know we're away from home against Fulham, but again, it's been working. The only thing with the five at the back, it kind of limits to what you can do going forward. I mean, I wasn't disappointed when I seen the lineup. It kind of picks itself at the minute. Bar that you could probably stick Talby in there if you weren't fancying Traore or something like that. But I mean, I'm not going to say I was like, oh my God, what's he doing? I mean, I was fine with it.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, I want to go to the chat. Craig Thurkel says, I hope Terry's cheered up as he looked a broken man on the Mad Mistake on your own channel. Were you actually a broken man?
Yeah, I understand. It's one of those things. I've been the same all my life. If we get beat, I'm really upset, and especially if fucking Newcastle win, makes it even worse, doesn't it?
Well, this is the thing. It's like when you support a team, there's different levels of passion, and it does hurt when you lose and you're down and things like that. And people who haven't got that level of passion go, well, it doesn't matter, does it? And well, it does matter. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
even if just because we've been doing so well, doesn't mean we get beat. I can't be disappointed because I thought yesterday was a missed opportunity, a chance to really push on with all these hard games coming up. So yeah, I am bitterly disappointed with just the limited amount of chances we had as well.
All right, I'll bring you in just now, Lee. Yeah, with this thing about different passion, though, it's like, when you don't have that passion, and they're saying, oh, well, just forget about it, just move on and stuff like that, I also feel sorry for those sort of people because they don't have that passion and they don't feel the hurt. They also don't feel the elation when you do something really well and how good that feeling is because, like I say, it's different levels of passion. Lee?
Yeah, I understand what Terry's saying. I think we are allowed to get frustrated. You know what I mean? If you put in a performance against Arsenal and Chelsea like that, but then you play against Fulham like that, I think you are entitled to be a bit frustrated. Obviously, some people go a bit too far. Maybe it's like say sack the manager. He's shite, and it's not the case. It's just a bad day. But I think we are allowed to get frustrated because we are so passionate. It does affect us. But then some people do come on and they tell you you have to be proud to be where we are at the minute because we were in League One 3 years ago. That was like 3-4 years ago. I couldn't give a fuck about that now, right? That's gone. That's irrelevant now for me. It needs to stop, these comparisons, like where we were 4 years ago, I think, because it's irrelevant now. We're not there anymore. We've moved on.
Right, okay. I'm just going to scrub one of the questions because we've more or less answered it anyway. I was saying, Wilson, a bit of a lone wolf up front. And should we not be going attacking these teams, the likes of Fulham? And like you said, no disrespect to Fulham, but, really, should we have done that? But then on the flip side, like Dino said, why change a winning formula? What's worked?
You could have kept the same team. You could have just moved Hertruda up with Siddiqui and Xhaka if it wasn't working, and then got a little bit more sort of because we were losing the midfield battle a lot with those two, and there's lots of reasons why we could be losing the midfield battle. I think our side was a little bit more disjointed with all the players going away on international duty and coming back, and it just breaks up the rhythm and everything. And I think maybe it's Fulham. I don't know if a lot of their players do go on international break. Maybe they had more time together and sort of recover, a bit more rest. Because our players like Siddiqui would have been travelling all the way over to Africa somewhere to play his games of football. I think he played against Nigeria and won in extra time on penalties or something. Yeah. So that takes a lot out of you. Jet lag happens.
I scored a penalty as well, didn't he? So I believe. Right, okay. Just very quickly back to the chat then. DJ Sizzler Watson. Evening, everyone. We must learn from it. Bring on the next game. Tony Huntington says it was the wrong lineup. We should have matched Fulham 4-3-3. And John Swinney says, you're right to be sad, Terry. It's not the result, but the manner of the display. We will get onto that. Obviously, because of the way we played, I think we would have all gladly taken a point. But sort of before kickoff, would you have taken a point before kickoff? How confident were you, Lee?
I mean, after the last result against Arsenal and seeing that Fulham, I think, had lost 4 and 6, they'd only won 1 and 6, I think, something like that. And they do have a good home record, but I was confident that we could go there and keep it tight and either get a point or nick a win. But I mean, I wouldn't say I would have settled for a point, but if you'd asked me that about 80 minutes before they scored, then yeah, definitely. But before the match, the way we're playing and the way the confidence and the mood is around the club at the minute, you would go there expecting to get 3 points. Might sound a bit arrogant, but I think that's the way the mood is at the minute. And possibly that's because that's why we got beat yesterday. Maybe it's a bit of overconfidence is creeping in.
Right, okay. Dino?
What's the question?
Oh, Dino, if you're not going to, honestly,
No, what's the question?
get them
What's the
disco
question?
lights on. Get the disco lights on.
No, they only come on when they win or withdraw, not on a defeat.
All right.
What was the question again?
Well, would you take a point before the start?
No, because I look at it this way. So if we want to be like doing really well in the Prem, I look at, did Newcastle beat Fulham? Yeah. So if Newcastle can beat Fulham, we can beat Fulham. So that's what I was looking at. And Fulham are very hitty missy. I know they were playing Newcastle at their place at St James's Park, but I mean, they haven't been very impressive this season, I don't think. They've got Raul Jimenez up front, who's like probably past it. I know he scored, but he's probably way past his prime now. He's old legs. And I just thought we'd be able to take advantage, to be fair. And with Newcastle beating them, I wanted the 3 points. And because obviously we beat West Ham, them got beat off West Ham. So that's how I'm looking at it at the minute, especially coming up to the derby.
Yeah, but Fulham are very good at home. Do you not think?
I still say this to this day: home or away, it makes no difference. It's still 11-side football. I've always said that I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. The only difference is that you're playing at someone else's ground with them. Have got more fans than you, but it's still a football pitch with 2 goals on either side. I'm sorry,
So are you saying home advantage is just not a thing?
Not the only thing at home advantage. What you can do is you get a shitter changing room, and obviously Sunderland can do what them do, move the advertising boards. That's the only advantage you can get. I mean, but you're still playing on an 11-side pitch with 2 goals and referees. So for me, it should make no difference.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree on that, Dino, because 100% you've got more chance of winning when you play at home than you have away. Simple as that. Well, we'll agree to disagree, but you're wrong. Right. Terry, were you confident before kick-off then, or would you have taken a draw before kick-off?
You know what it is, being a Sunderland fan, as much as people slate us for it, I'm never 100% confident. I'm hopeful, my heart's confident, my head's grounded, and it's just sort of how well the team's done that I've raised the bar with them. I wanted to go there and get 3 points. I'm looking at Fulham and Bournemouth, thinking, yeah, we can get 4 to 6 points out of these next 2 games, then bring on Liverpool, Man City, and Newcastle. And that's because the team's done so well so far in the first 11 games, a quarter of the way through the season. I've now raised the bar with the whole team. I want to make it into the top 10, even top 6. So I was thinking, there's no reason why we can't go and get the 3 points down to Craven Cottage. Simple as.
All right, okay. Lee, you want in there?
Yeah, I think we also have to remember that the last 2 games before that, we only got 2 draws against Everton. So that's like now 2 points from 9. We're looking at the next game against Bournemouth, and if we don't get a result there, or if we get a draw or a win, it's 3 points from 12 or 2 points from 12. Suddenly we might start looking over our shoulder a little bit. So that's why I was thinking that against Fulham and against Everton, for example, 2 teams really out of form, I thought we should have been a bit more up for it and go for it a bit more.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, numbers are low tonight for some reason. 60-odd people on the channel watching. If you can hit the like button for us, we do like to try and hit 100 if we can on a Sunday night. So just hit the thumbs up there. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. First half then, I mean, for me, it was a hard watch. Fulham having all that possession. And I know, to be fair, it's, we do play that way a lot, sort of thing. It's not about having possession a lot of the time. We do let the opposition have more. But how comfortable are you watching us play that way? Because I don't know, yesterday I found it hard yesterday. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not nice to watch. I mean, obviously you'd love to dominate the ball and pass it around their box instead of us just doing it in defence. I just don't know if it's just an issue with the 5 at the back. You've got limited numbers in front of you. I mean, you don't have you've got Xhaka and Siddiqui in front of you, but they're probably always going to be marked with them having 3 in the middle. And then you're relying on your wing backs to maybe give you a bit of an outlet. So it could be the formation why we don't really attack as much potentially, but I mean, like you just said there, it is how we actually play most. We've played most of this season. Just sit back, sort the pressure up, and then try and catch them on the counter. But unfortunately, that didn't work yesterday. I mean, I think Traore had most of our good chances, and then Lafay had his chance in the second half. But other than that, it was quite piss poor. To be fair, it was all about Robin Roofs just making save after save. It just and I felt like with playing at five at the back as well, I felt like them got behind our defence so much more than any other team. So I mean, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if players are just tired from international duty or it's just a really off game. But obviously, it's not nice to watch, and I think this is just how we play, and it's not really going to change. I don't think.
All right. Just very quickly before I pass it round, I just want to quickly go to the chat here. John Swinney says we missed the extra man in midfield, definitely. Tony Huntington saying, do you think the international break was a factor? And John Swinney also saying he was surprised that no Rig on the bench, but Reggie said it was a tactical reason. Tony Huntington says the last time we were in the Prem, it was more of a disadvantage as the crowd were a bit toxic. Tam says Nordy was knackered from the 65th minute and he hadn't been away. He got up the pitch, was struggling to recover, was blown out of his hoop at the end of the game. Lee, is it hard watching us play that way?
Not if we do it right. If the application's right, I mean, we saw against Chelsea and Arsenal that if you get it right, if the high press is coordinated, because we do sit deep, but we'd make sure that Isidore Lafay and Traore, they do press the opposition defenders, and we do get close to them. So I think it's just all about the application, and yesterday the application wasn't there. The only person I saw really busting the gut was Enzo Lafay, but that was probably just to keep warm.
Right, okay. Before I come to you, Terry, our very own Emma says they did their homework, and we got caught out with the same tactics. Everyone was below par, but Ballard was particularly poor. That's John Swinney. And Ian says Hume is not good enough. Terry, I mean, we are used to playing that way where it's not about possession with us, but it's a hard watch, do you not think?
I think the energy level was down. I think you go back to the Chelsea game, we had a much harder high press, and we were on the offensive early doors, and we're putting Chelsea under pressure. We had one or two opportunities. I think the energy level was down. I think the whole team was just didn't turn up on the day. Hume, Ballard being away with Northern Ireland playing 2 games or whatever it was. Hume definitely played 2 games, I think. And I think the whole team, I think the international break, I'm pleased they're finished now for a good few weeks till next year, because it did sort of upset the apple cart. Like I say, for whatever reason, it was just a bad day at the office. I think we'll probably see a different team after we've had like a good week of training together and a bit more of a rest between now and Bournemouth. Might see a different energy level next weekend. You don't want to lose games of football, but if you're going to lose them, you want to bounce back straight away with a victory. So I just think, playing 5 at the back's okay for me when you play against the top 4 teams or what you regard as the top 6. But after that, you've got to try and take the game to them and try and score goals. And sitting back and soaking up pressure they had 80% possession at one point. It's just not good enough,
Right, okay. Dino, you want in there?
Yeah, with Terry saying that like you should change the formation, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise, because when you get beat, now you expect the manager to change something. So maybe you'll go into the Bournemouth game thinking, right, we're going to go with 4. We're going to try 4-3-3. We might change a few players around. So it might be a bit of a blessing in disguise, because we didn't look great. We didn't look great yesterday. So with this defeat, maybe changes will come, a little bit of change in personnel potentially. So it might be a blessing.
Right, okay. Robin Roefs, let's get on to him then. Absolutely brilliant again. Is Roefs the main reason that we're doing as well as we are on the table? Do you think, if it wasn't for him, we could very well be struggling at the bottom? Lee?
I think he's a part of that, yeah, because he's made some good saves and he stopped some goals. But I think the defence in general and the shape of the team has been really good. Yesterday he made some very good saves in the first half. My only criticism is that I think he's a bit cross shy. I think he's a bit indecisive on crosses. I think yesterday for the goal, he makes a move to come, but then he kind of hesitates and then jumps back. And I think that if he'd have gone for it, he would have got the ball before Jimenez. There's sometimes yesterday as well, he was like dallying around with the ball at his feet too much and he left it too late to kick it out. But yeah, in general, I think he's been a great keeper and he's a shot stopper now. I think he's still very young. He's 21, 22. So I think he's got some room for improvement, but he's definitely a big part of our goal difference and not shipping as many goals this season for sure.
Right, okay, just very quickly, I need to go to the chat. Anthony Pryor, delete me from this website. I am not interested. Mate, just delete yourself. That's all you got to do. It's not difficult. Right, okay. Terry, is Roos the reason we're up where we are? Because without him, I mean, he certainly, he played a blinder yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the reasons. I mean, it's a team game, isn't it? They all play the parts. But yeah, he's had some fantastic games this season, and having it that keeping it at that high level is not always easy. Yesterday was atrocious conditions as well. I mean, obviously the rain, it never stopped. It was kind of like some of the parts of the ground was getting a bit waterlogged as well at times. But that, like Lee said, I mean, the goal was a poor goal to give away, to be honest. I mean, he didn't come out for the ball, and obviously it wasn't defended that well. That Raul just jogged into the box and at his own pace and still managed to get his toe on the end of the ball to get scored the goal. But yeah, Roefs, I mean, I thought he made one or two decent saves, but I didn't think it was one of his better games yesterday. I didn't think it was outstanding. Some of the saves weren't outstanding. I thought he just made, some decent saves, but it is what it is.
Well, you're saying it's a team game. I don't think we played much like a team yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
So, Dino, Roofs, is he, probably the main reason of us being up where we are?
No, I mean, he's saved for some points, don't get us wrong, but there has been games where you look and think he could have done better. I mean, with the Saka near post goal, probably could have done better. There's been a few where he could have done better, but there's been a lot of times where he's probably saved winning games, so it's a little bit of both. But why we're up there is because we're a very solid unit. Obviously, it didn't show that yesterday because we conceded in the 85th minute, but to people to say that was terrible defending, I mean, one bit of quality. I mean, I thought Hume defended well most of the game. That Kevin didn't really do a lot against him, and then obviously he got subbed out for that. I think it was Unchukwu or something like that. And I mean, just one getting past Hume a little bit, and then just one quality ball. And people blame Hume for not blocking the cross. Some people blame Ballard. Some people blame Roofs. I mean, when it's coming across at that pace, or like coming towards your 6-yard box, you're going to hesitate because it wasn't like a slow ball. It was whipped, and obviously it's bounced off the surface, so it makes it go a little bit quicker. And unfortunately, picking him and Jimenez has just stuck his foot out, and it's hit him. And Robin Roofs, if he just stood still, he would have probably saved it. But obviously, he's always going to be moving across, and it's just really unfortunate. But that's the thing. One bit of quality in the squad. We showed no quality, really, did we? I mean, Traore had one shot, and I can't remember who even had the other shot, to be fair. But other than that, we were quite atrocious going forward. No creativity. I thought Lefebvre ran around loads, but didn't really do a lot. But yeah, Roofs been great. Well, probably maybe signing of the season so far. But again, it's early days.
Right, okay. I'll quickly go to the chat here. John Swinney says, hopefully Roof's ankle injury is not too bad as we're stuffed without him. Tony Huntington, I agree with Dino. This loss could be a blessing. Reggie's made adjustments after losses, and he's learning as well. John McKinney says, nowhere near good enough. Need a win next week to balance out City and Liverpool. Whilst we're on Roos, I was going to leave this for later. 83 minutes, Fulham go 1-up. And I don't want to have a go at Roos because he had a great game and that. But I mean, should he have done better on that goal? I mean, the problem is with the goalie, he does great all game, but if he makes that one mistake, what cost you? That's what everybody remembers. And the last thing I want to do is knock him because I thought he was great yesterday. But should he have done better on that goal, Terry?
I mean, he could have done better. I thought he could have gotten out possibly, and like Lee said, and put a challenge in. I also think maybe the whole defense itself could have done better in the whole sort of situation. But they're probably getting tired legs. They're probably getting tired towards the end of the game. Ballard's been away on international duty. He's had a game. He just the whole team just seemed off sorts. They were sort of jaded. They just didn't seem to have the same energy level as had previous games, and you've got to put that down to the whole team being away and then coming back. But it was a poor goal to give away. The goal Jimenez got in there, but he just jogged in. It was experience. It was more like an experienced striker's goal to get, wasn't it? Really, but yeah, it wasn't just. You can't just blame Roefs for the goal. The defenders have got to take some blame as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I still struggle to have this players being tired. The young lads, at the peak of the fitness and stuff like that.
There's different energy levels, man. Phil, you got players who have probably not had games over the two weeks. They'll have a higher energy level, and other players have been traveling around to Africa, coming back jet lagged, and the energy level won't be the same. And it's about percentages. If you're 10% off your game, and other players and other teams have got that extra 10%. That's where the one goal comes from. That's the difference. One goal. If it had been the draw, you would have said, fair enough, we got a point, fair enough. But disappointment for one goal is just about different sort of percentages of energy levels in the whole team as a sort of combined unit. The whole team didn't have that energy level on Saturday.
Right, okay. Dino, should he have done better for that goal?
I'm not blaming Roofs because you keep as your last line of defence. And there's a lot of times that defence got broken down very easily, and Roofs obviously pulled out 3 good one-on-one saves, I believe. So, no, I'm not going to blame him because, first of all, you try and stop the cross, which obviously didn't. And then if you look at the position of Ballard was in front of Jimenez, so maybe Ballard could have done something a bit better. Jimenez just seemed to run into Ballard, challenge him, and just was stronger than Ballard and got his foot on the end of the ball. It was a great cross. It's one of them crosses where either your defender deals with it, or it could go down to run. Because I'm sure Fulham have got the most own goals, like goals for them. I'm sure that's their team because they put wicked balls into the box and it could hit your defender and go in the back of the net. So no, I'm not going to play Roofs for that. The stages to when that goal comes and you keep as your last line of defence, and unfortunately he wasn't in the right position to save it. So no, I'm not going to play Roofs.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat before I come to you, Lee. Ian says, Hume, man, he didn't stop the cross, which Bill is saying. He also says, we're a week down the right. Captain Finch says, what a downer of a weekend. Ian saying Hume to blame. Tam saying Traore was our strongest outfield player, but weak down the right. Lee, was it Roof's mistake, the goal?
No, I don't think so. I think he could have done better. Like I said before, if you watch the replay, he kind of starts to come out, but then he hesitates and he kind of retreats. I just think, he probably could have been a bit braver and come out and collected it. But like I said, my criticism of him is crosses into the box at the minute. There was a cross that came in when he was basically favoured to get the ball, to catch the ball, and he let Jimenez get in front of him, and Jimenez kind of hit off his shoulder or his elbow or something like that. I just think he should be a bit braver in those type of situations for crosses. Be bold, come out and collect and be commanding. But no, I think the cross could have been dealt with better. I think Trey Hume, it was marking, wasn't really close enough, gave him too much space. But I think throughout the game and in previous games, our fullbacks always get left one-on-one with their wingers, with opponents' wingers. So I think that's something we need to look at. Maybe it's like get Lafay and Traore tracking back and doubling up. because when our wingers get the ball, it always seems to the other team has 2 or 3 men around our wingers, but when it's the vice versa, it's always 1-on-1. So I think we need to get that in check as well.
Right, okay. Just very quickly back on the chat down here. John McKinney says Ballard was to fault. He was holding off the man instead of dealing with the ball. John Swinney agrees with that. John McKinney, Traore is never consistent. Must bring in a right winger in January if Talby is strongest on the left. 30 minutes in. I mean, I was watching. I was down in Sheffield. But I was in the hotel watching, and that honestly, on 30 minutes, I was just praying for the whistle and thinking that thing of where we're never the same side, like two halves normally. I'm thinking if we can get in at 0-0 here and come out in second half, Sunderland come out. I thought, it's ours for the taking. Were you feeling the same way? Was you crying out for the whistle, Dino?
Yeah, a little bit, because it felt like it was only a matter of time before they scored a goal. They were keep getting in behind, silly mistakes with not in the right positions, and Roefs pulling off saves and last minute challenges. I'm sure Hume had one on that Kevin. It was just all Fulham, really. I mean, I know we didn't have a lot of possession, but even when we did have the ball, we weren't like playing it down the sides, trying to get in behind. We were just playing in front of them, not really looking to play that killer ball. I thought Xhaka was miles off. It was just all Fulham, and it was only a matter of time before they scored. So to get in at half time was definitely a blessing. But when we came out second half, I mean, apart from straight from kickoff where Lafay got that one chance, I don't think we've done anything else.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat here then. Tony Huntington says Roofs was unsure because the defence was all over the place. But also Tam says the Fulham cross was a perler. Sweet as he's just watched it back and really don't know what we could have done. So he stood him up and a bit of magic beat him, really. So Terry, 30 minutes, were you crying out for that half-time whistle?
Yeah, I was thinking the same to you. I was thinking get half-time, but change it around. Maybe change it to 4-3-3 or something at half-time. Possibly even make a substitution. I don't think Isidore is getting any service at all. He's really isolated at the moment. So I don't know how we're going to combat and change that. I don't know whether Robbie coming on at half-time would have been different style of football. I'm not sure, but disappointment how sort of. There's one time when Isidore I thought he might be getting through with his pace, but he was kind of just brushed off the ball by the defender. I'm forgetting his Bassi, I think it was, or someone. I'm forgetting his name now. But yeah, I was hoping for half-time, hoping for a change at half-time, come out different team, but we didn't.
Right, okay. Just very quickly back to the chat. Ian says because we had 5 at the back, but then John Swinney says with 5 at the back, the fullbacks should have cover all the time from the spare centre back. Lee, were you screaming out for that half-time whistle?
Yeah, I mean, with the stream I was watching, I lost count how many times the commentator said Fulham are knocking on the door, and Sunderland will be happy with a point. Because it was kind of that bad, the performance. And even the subs in the second half didn't work either. I mean, Talby and Bobby came on 64 minutes and they didn't really get into the game. And as Dino mentioned before, it was their sub, Chuck Weezy, who came on and changed the game for Fulham and created that spark and put the ball in, I think, for Jimenez to score the goal. So yeah, I mean, after seeing how the game progressed, you thought, yeah, it's not our day today. The players don't look up for it, and I'll take a point now, but it wasn't to be. But I mean, we did stay in the game. We did stay in the game until 83 minutes, so I suppose that's a plus that we are able to stay in games, and that's been a kind of a common theme, is that Lebris knows how to stay in games, and we get results, but yesterday just wasn't to be, was it not?
I want to say a mind as well, and I'm probably going to touch on this. We got nothing from the referee whatsoever.
Yeah, we're going to come to the referee, so we will get on to that. Right, before we do, I want to give a quick plug to our channel sponsors for this season, wolfcompetitions.co.uk. And, well, we had our biggest ever winner this week, right? Paige won £80,000. And Brian went down to see her. This is what happened.
Biggest ever winner! Here we are, wolfcompetition.co.uk. We've got a surprise for somebody right now. The biggest thing to Hill, wolfcompetition.co.uk. Wolf Competitions. Snow is falling all around. Children playing, having fun. The wolf is on fire. The wolf is on fire. We are unbelievably so happy for you. And it happens to people, and especially this time of year, because dreams come true. You believed and you achieved, and you believed in the big one day would happen. It's happening right now! But not only that, listen, you've got a chance. You've got 3 flips at £5,000 a flip. Wow! So that'll take it on the £15,000, which is a total of £85,000. Please, win. Right, flip it, land on the floor, on the wolf's head. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. That's the first £5,000. Count that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more for the whole pot. Right, flip it to win it. Come on. A full house. Ah! But never mind. There you go. Yes. One more time for Pete.
So there you go. Well done to Paige. £80,000 she won. If you've not been on the website yet, there is a link in the description, wolfcompetition.co.uk, and it does work. I was in work on Thursday night, and we were talking to Dorman about it, and they didn't know about the site. So one went on, he put a tenner in his account, and on his first spin, he won 20 quid. So there you go. I mean, so people do win. Changing people's lives, Wolf Competitions, and thanks for sponsoring the channel. Right then, look, second half then, like Terry said earlier there, I'm thinking, right, second half Sunderland are going to come out. I thought we started fairly well. I thought, obviously, Reggie's given him a rocket up the bum down there. And when it's not working, Labrise tends to change it. He acts on it straight away. So were you surprised that there were no changes at the start of the second half? Go on, Terry, because you've already said this anyway, but come on up.
Yeah, I thought maybe we might have made a change at half-time with it being so bad and even changed the formation a little bit, but we didn't. They stuck with the same and hoping these half-time team talk would do the business, but it didn't really sort of work, did it? Because it was just one of them days, like I say, and nothing seemed to work. Even the passing was off, we weren't putting a string of passes together. There was nothing going up top for Isidore. It was just totally isolated, and it was just so disappointing.
All right, okay. Listen, Colin just quickly wants to be a social media star. Wants to show everybody his bollocks. There you go. All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. Dino, were you surprised there were no changes at half-time then?
Nah, because Reggie doesn't really make changes. I remember like back in the day when we used to have like Lee Johnson and they used to make the same changes around about the same time, and it used to get a little bit on everyone's nerves. It's proactive, not reactive. And I feel like Reggie's a little bit like that with his subs. He always seems to make 1 or 2 at like 60 minutes, and then he might stick one on about 80. And like it's just I'd like to see him, like, if something's not working, I'd love to just see him just go, right, we're going to change it now. It's clearly not working. We're going to make a change. We'll bring Talby on a bit earlier, get Robbie on, maybe go Mayenda with Robbie up front, just something, because we weren't creating anything. So, I mean, there's only a matter of time before you think, right, well, we're clearly not going to do anything, so we need to change something. But it just didn't seem like it looked like it seemed like we would have been happy with a point. When we went 1-0 down, that's when Mienda came on with who was it? Was it Talby who came on as well?
Talby and Robbie.
Yeah, Talby and was it Talby and Adingra or something like that?
No,
Talby
and
Dingle
Robbie
came on about
on.
65, and then he brought on Mienda and
Mienda and Adingra at like 86. Like, I mean, what they're not really going to do much in that time. So, I mean, it is frustrating with these substitutions, but they have worked in the past. So I can't criticize him too much because when he has made substitutions, they've worked, like Arsenal and stuff like that. So. But it can be a bit tedious if it's not working and you're just sitting there thinking, how I make a change.
I disagree a bit with you on it, Dino. I think Reggie has been better than any other manager, like for spotting something what's not working and then sort of dealing with it. But maybe I just watch a different game to you. Lee, were you surprised no changes at the start of the second half?
No, I don't think there was a need to change the personnel. I just think you just needed to tell the players to up the intensity and show a bit of willingness and be a bit braver and don't sit so deep, which is what we did against Everton at home. And during that game, after they scored about 20-25 minutes later, that's when we started to change. We started to get further up the pitch. We started to press more. We got more on the ball. And I think that's what was missing yesterday. I think we just sat too deep. We didn't hassle them. They hassled us. We didn't hassle them. And I think it was just like lack of energy. And you could say, well, yeah, international break. What's the third or fourth international break so far this season? And we've had a fair few players away in that time. So, and a lot of those players like Xhaka have played every game for Switzerland. Sadiq's played every game for Congo. So I think maybe it has taken its toll, and there was like a bit of lack of energy yesterday. And even Labrie said in his post-match press conference that the players lacked willingness to impose their style of game. So I think that's what it just comes down to. I don't think it was... I don't know. I don't think any of the subs bringing on half-time would have made a great deal because at that time we were 0-0 still. You know what I mean? The game was still in our hands. We had a couple of chances in the first half. If that shot from Lafille goes in after 15 seconds in the second half, it changes the game completely.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But I mean, just before they scored, Talby had the ball and Lafille was completely free in the penalty box. So he took the wrong decision. He went right rather than going left. I mean, Lafille had yards and was in acres of space on his own, and it was that just sums up the day.
I was raging with that, you know. We played some lovely like some lovely little passing, and then Talby gets it, and you just see Lafille just there, and you just like play him, and he goes down the right, and I was just like, oh my god! And you could see Lafille going ballistic.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen him otherwise because that was nailed on. You know, the pass what should have been made. He was in acres of space. He had a free shot on goal. He's just not seen him. That's the only explanation for that ball not going to Lafille, is what I say. But Tam's saying he didn't see him as well. So obviously,
but then Talby done something else when we're breaking down the right hand side, and he done this like little spin, and then he tried to do another bit of skill instead of just laying it off, and he ended up giving a free kick away like in the last minutes. Like, I mean, I think that might just be how raw and young he is, not making the right decisions. But when he came on, I was really disappointed in Talby because he has been one of our better players when he's come off the bench. I thought some of his decision making yesterday was quite poor in the couple of minutes he had on the ball.
Right, okay. Right, let's just very quickly, we've got 51 likes at the moment. We do like to try and hit 100 if we can on a Sunday. I'll take you a second to just hit that thumbs up. If you do that for us, please give us a like. We'll love you forevermore and even more so. If you subscribe to the channel, free to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and that will help us out as well. Let's get on to the referee then. A lot of people complaining about the referee. Lee, your thoughts?
I don't think it affected the result of the game because but in terms of his performance, I think it was quite similar to the Everton game. I thought in the Everton game, the referee there gave Everton a lot of decisions and gave us nothing but like the little niggly fouls, and it was pretty much the same yesterday. We had like every time we had a player pick up the ball and he was like bumped in the back, didn't get a decision, but anytime they went down on the minimal contact, he gave the decision very quickly. There was a very interesting decision where Isidore was through on goal, and I think it was Bassi actually like shoves him in the back. And the commentary I was watching, they were saying, yeah, there's minimal contact there, but when they showed the replay, and you can see the actual hand and the elbow going to Isidore's back and pushing him, he said, well, there might be a little bit of contact, but it's not enough. And I was like, that's a foul, and it could possibly be a red card if it's a goal scoring opportunity.
Right, okay. Before I pass it around, this is interesting. Robert Chaplow. Do you think playing in the black kit that the players can't pick each other out due to the background of the crowd? Now, if you're as old as it's all right doing that, Dino, but if you're as old as I am, and Terry will probably still remember this as well, but Manchester United played at Southampton and they were in their third strip, which was a grey strip. And at half time, Alex Ferguson made them change the strip because they couldn't pick out the players. And that's what he did at half time. They changed their strip at half time. So, there could be something in that. Obviously, Dino, you think that's a load of tosh. So we'll come to you about the referee and you can have your comment on the colour of the kit we're playing.
The referee, yeah, terrible. I mean, there was the rule with the head injury, right, which this does me head in, right, because players play on it. There was a time we were breaking down the left-hand side and Raul Jimenez went down under a challenge off, I don't know if it was Mukulele or Ronaldo. Didn't touch his head. It was more like Ronaldo's got above him and it's just like a little knock of the head. It's not now massive. And we were breaking and then he blew the whistle. Jimenez got straight up. And it's like players are going to play on the I've got a bad head. They should change the rule away. It's like when a rugby player goes down, if you're on the attack, you can still play, but you rush the medical staff straight on, and then as soon as that attack's ended, then stop the play. But to just stop the play for a head injury, because players play on it, we all know that. Even if it's not even serious, they'll hold the head and the play instantly stops. So that was terrible. And then these little niggly fouls where someone like Lefebvre would hold the ball up, you get pushed in the back, you go down, we get nothing. But then the same thing would happen to them, and then we'll get every single foul. And it was so infuriating because they can get the foul, but we can't. But it's exactly the same thing. Someone's just went, you've just leaned your weight into them and they fall down. We've all seen it. And the referee was just giving them everything. It was so frustrating. Don't get us wrong, we didn't lose the game because of that. But it just makes the day worse because you should be getting decisions and you're just not getting them.
And the black strip?
Yeah, the black strip, back in them days, obviously there was no such thing as the advertising boards were all just one colour. The advertising boards now all changing colour, aren't they? So for me, that's just not an excuse. That's like saying, oh, we played really well, really badly because it was raining. Sorry, I'm not having that as an excuse. Unless a player comes out and says, look, the kits aren't ideal to play in. But until a player or manager or some member of staff comes out with something and says, oh, the kits aren't exactly helping the players, I'm not having that.
Right, okay. Well, just quickly before I come to you, Terry, I'll go to the chat on this because people are saying it. Tam's saying, I agree with Dino on this one. What a load of mystical bollocks is saying. Also, Miles Percival says, why we're not playing in the blue strip. It's probably a marketing thing, I would imagine. Playing enough strips, people might buy them. Kev, I agree with Dino.
That is a thing though, because remember back in the day, you could when Newcastle played Sunderland, it would always be red and white, black and white. Now it is kind of marketing because why couldn't you play in you can't play in the red and white strip if they're playing in white, but when you're playing against I don't know, I'm trying to think of a team who's got a totally different colour to us, but we're still got to wear the away one. It's definitely a marketing thing, isn't it? You've got to wear certain strips at certain times in the season.
Well, I would imagine so, but you can't really knock that if that's what the club are doing. If it brings revenue in, it says it. It only becomes a problem if that is actually a thing that, picking players out because of the colour of the strip. If it makes it harder, then it is a problem. So I don't know where we're at. Terry, the referee.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Dino was saying. I mean, that Raul Jimenez thing, I mean, he just went down because he knew we were going on the counter-attack. He knew we had a good chance of probably getting the ball in the box, and he just went down. It wasn't even a nasty challenge. Didn't even touch his head. He just jumped on his back. and he just rolled on the ground, and the referee just fell for it. The referees need to be sort of picked up on these decisions and ask the question, are you being fair? Because you're not. Because, I mean, like I said, every little niggle and foul, he was giving them a free kick and not giving us the same. It's just biased. It's ridiculous. They need to either have some sort of points decisions against referees where they can sort of get banned for not being sort of level pegging, so they're equal for both teams. Because I just think some referees are biased, whether they like it or not. They are biased against some teams, because it should never have been stopped. That Raul thing, it drove me nuts yesterday. And like I say, the Isidore one, you give them a push. There's 1 or 2 times one of their players pushed our players in the back. Nothing happened whatsoever. But as soon as we touched one of their players that went down, it was a free kick. It just drives you mad.
Right, okay. Well, Ben Rowland says ref was absolutely awful yesterday. But typical of our very own Emma to chuck this into the mix. I'll come to you just now, Dino. Did you know that we wore the black strip when we played Burnley? And we all know what happened there. So maybe there's something in it. Dino, you was one in there.
Yeah, with the referee as well. I forget, Raul Jimenez did have a serious head injury. Like, I think it was a couple of years ago, and he was wearing a helmet, and maybe that went for Jimenez, because he's got previous history with having that bad head injury, which he had. But again, there needs to be a rule in play where if you're on the attack and someone's holding the head down, play on, but get the medical staff on, and then as soon as that attack ends, then stop the play, because anyone can just go down with a head injury. I'm sorry, and it stops the game and stops your momentum, and that could have been a really good opportunity to score a goal. And at the end of the day, Jimenez just literally just got up, walked off, and just shook his head, and it was just like, so we'll stop the play because he held his head for 2 seconds. He was fine.
And that's what I mean? That's what he could use to his advantage every bloody game if he wanted to. I used to have a head injury. I'm going to play with my advantage.
And that's what they do.
It's piss take, man.
And that's exactly what they do. I've got to say hello to Jackie Shields. Jack's mum, of course, on there. One of them had his hands around Ballard's neck, and the ref did nout. Kev says it's hard to argue against Terry's point. So Matt and Cabby, who looks like our friend again, said ref was bad, but so were we. Simple as. Was it our worst performance of the season so far, Dino?
For me, Burnley still trumps that, because Burnley, obviously, they came up with us, and that was a game I was really expecting to win, whereas Fulham are actually a proven Premier League team. So against Burnley, it was 3-0. We looked terrible. This was only a 1-0. Was it 2-0? Sorry. Well, I thought it was 3-0 for some reason.
I thought it was 3-0.
I thought it was 3-0.
2-0.
I think it was, wasn't it? I'm sure it was 3-0.
We're going to have to find this out. I thought it was 3-0.
We haven't lost by 3 goals all season.
But was Man United not 3?
2-0.
But Burnley's still the worst performance for us, especially after beating West Ham 3-0 the way we played. Yeah, for me, it was definitely Burnley's the worst.
See, I disagree, because I thought Burnley were the better side in the first half. I'm disappointed we weren't leading that game. And I thought we just came out second half. We give the ball away. They scored an early goal in the second half. Then we were trying to push for a goal. At least we were creating chances against Burnley. Yesterday, we just created absolutely nothing. We just never looked like scoring in the month of Sundays yesterday, where against Burnley, we had the opportunities and we just didn't put them in the back of the net.
All right, just very quickly, I've just checked that up, and Dino, you're wrong again. You're always wrong, man.
And I am. I should just shut up, shouldn't I? Really?
You should do. You should get them disco lights on. Is what you should do. Cheer us up a little bit.
I agree with Dino. Disco lights only for a victory.
I know, but we need cheering up.
Or even a draw. I didn't mind a draw. If it's a good draw, they'll come on.
But Dean's disco lights are the best. No, all right. I thought you were going to finish the song off.
Nah, sorry, I'm not.
Right, fair enough. Lee, was that our worst performance of the season so far?
I think the stats would suggest it was Philly. I mean, like looking at the expected goals, it was like 0.17, the lowest we've had all season. Against Burnley, we had 0.77. I just think, tiredness, possibly a lack of preparation because of all the players who were in international duty. I would probably say it was, because especially after the game against Arsenal, the euphoria of that last-minute equaliser, the strong performance, the players were up for it, and just it wasn't there yesterday. And I think could quite honestly say that was the worst performance of the season.
Right, okay. Well, people agree with you on that, Lee, on here, because John Swinney says worst performance. David Walker agrees with you on that as well. But it's all about opinions. That's what it's about. Just very quickly then, before we move off this, could we pick a man of the match out for Sunderland? Terry?
Who did I say yesterday? I'd probably give it to Ronaldo. That's the only one I could really see that he, at the end of the day, the whole team didn't perform to the high levels that they've performed in previous games, but I'll just give it to Ronaldo.
Right, fair enough. Lee?
I'd probably say Enzo Lafay, because I think he was the one who was really up for it. He was running around a lot. He was trying to make things happen on the ball. Other than that, you could say Robin Roos for the saves that he made in the first half to keep the score to what it was. But yeah, I would say Enzo Lafay and probably Roofs is a close second.
Right, okay. Dino, can you give it man of the match?
For me, Roofs every day of the week. It was 1-0 because he made the saves. If he didn't make them saves, it could have been 3 or 4. And obviously he got hurt a little bit later on. Yeah, for me, Roofs all day.
I just thought Roofs' saves were saves that that a keeper should make anyway. I don't think there was any outstanding saves. I just saw a different game to everybody else. I just thought there were saves that I expect the keeper to make. There weren't like the good saves he's made in previous games, because I think Fulham didn't really, put him under too much pressure, apart from sort of obviously the goal, and they had a lot of possession in the first half, but they didn't really hit the target.
They had 8 shots on target, Terry.
Yeah, but I think they were great shots. They were straight to the keeper, a lot of them.
They were still on target.
They're the worst ones to save them, because you don't know whether to go with your hands or your legs.
I don't
and
think there's any power in them either. I thought they were just easy shots. I didn't think there were any powerful shots. Ones I expect a quality keeper to save. I'm not taking anything away from the keeper. He played well, but I'm just saying there weren't like outstanding saves that he's made against previous games. I think, wow, that was a great save. I thought, yeah, it's a keeper. I expect to make that kind of save.
Right, Lee, you want in there?
No, I think there was one shot where they had, I think it was Kevin who got him one-on-one, and he made a very good save. He got down to his right-hand side. I mean, if you see it from like the behind the goal angle, you can see that Kevin's got like a big space to aim for, and he tries to go for that corner, and Roof gets down and just like parries it away. And I think it was like that was a very important save and a top-class save, especially being on one-on-one, because you'd expect the striker to score.
Yeah, to my defence, I think I completely missed that one, because I went into the toilet a couple of times, so I might have missed about 5 minutes of the game.
Well, I never
saw a one-on-one with Kevin, so I must have missed that one.
Well, I've got to say, Terry, that is no defence.
Take your word for that one.
That's no defence. You're guilty. You're being sent down. I agree with you, Dino. I think Roofs all day, without a doubt, for me. Right, just quickly, because we are running out of time here, right? Bournemouth on Saturday. How important is it to get a win? And I'll couple it up with the next question as well. Is would you be happy just keeping our unbeaten home record? So if we got a draw next week, would you be happy with that, Terry?
At the end of the game, yes, but now I want to win. We got to get the 3 points. We got to, we've got some difficult games coming up. I do believe they could be missing both of their strikers. I'm not sure. Semenyo and the one what's he called again?
Kluivert.
They could be out. So if that's the case, then it's a good time to play them. They've got a never say die attitude as well, because they seem to always sort of battle back and do really well. But for me, you've got to win your home games. And I think if we put the performances we have done in previous home matches, we should. I want to take the 3 points.
Right, okay. I mean, you're saying with the games coming up, I mean, everybody's going on about Liverpool away, but Liverpool not shite at the moment, like really shite.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing, Liverpool, that
Terry.
worm will turn and they'll start playing good football very shortly. So I think we hope that they're still playing badly. But if Liverpool, at Anfield, it's going to be a hard game. It's going to be harder than playing Bournemouth at home, in my eyes, anyway.
Right, okay. Well, for Dino, it doesn't make any difference that we're away anyway. But Terry, your last a Liverpool fan, is she not worried about relegation?
Right, this season it's all about the loss of Jota, isn't it? Let's face it. It's some of the players that are really, really close with them, and it's affected them big time. You don't know how much it's affected a lot of the players. So for me, I think I said no last at the start of the season. I wouldn't expect a good season this season. It works in two ways. It either builds them up and they're going to have an amazing season, or they're flat and they're going to have a disappointing season. I'd write the season off and just get back the next season.
All right, okay, fair enough. Dino, just quickly, because we are out of time here. How important is a win next week, or would you still be happy just keeping that unbeaten record?
I mean, we need a win, really. We've got to win because we've got Liverpool and Man City coming up, which is going to be hard games. If you even get a point out of them two games, you'd be very fortunate. And then obviously
they're not that hard because they're away from home, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
it's got nothing to do with the home or away. It's who you're playing. And then obviously you've got Man City, and then you've got obviously the Newcastle game after that. So for me, you need to beat Bournemouth, try and scrape something against the next two after that, and then obviously it's the important game because I want to be above Newcastle by the time we play them, and obviously them have just picked up 3 points against Man City, so I want to be ahead of them before we play them just to keep the confidence up.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to put a prediction on. I'm going to say Xhaka is going to get a yellow card in the Bournemouth game because we need him for the Newcastle game, and he's got 4 yellow cards, 1 more and he's suspended, so I think he'll get it against Bournemouth. So he misses the Liverpool, and then he's back for Man City, then Newcastle.
Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll chuck this into the mix for you then, really, as well. Keeping our unbeaten record. All right. If we stay unbeaten at home, right, it's odds on sod's law that when we play the Mags, because our next home game will then be the Mags, it'll be sod's law that they break that record for us. And, you know, I'm very superstitious and I don't like things like that. But just on you, Lee, how important is a win next week against Bournemouth? Would you be happy just keeping that unbeaten home record?
I think seeing how the last 3 games have gone, Philly, I think we do need a win because if we don't win or we get a draw or a defeat, we could be like 3 points from 12, 2 points from 12, and then we got like those difficult games coming up. Just looking at Bournemouth's away record this season, I mean, they've only won 1 away, drawn 2. The last 3 games, obviously, they drew yesterday 2-2, came from behind against West Ham, got beat against Villa 4-0, and then lost to Man City. So they're in a bit of a bad run as well. So I think with the home atmosphere, if we bounce back, and we should be able to get a good 3 points, I reckon, and set us up nicely.
Yeah, but Lee, that home atmosphere cancels out, really. That's irrelevant, isn't it, Dino?
There's one that I'll say, the fans make a difference just so we keep going back to the stadium. Do you know what I mean?
No, but you can't tell me, seriously, hand on heart, that when the crowd's up for it and the buzzing and the cheering every tackle and stuff like that doesn't make the players then try even harder. Some
players have admitted, man. Some players have admitted. I don't really take notice of the crowd. I don't really hear them because I'm in the zone. Like, some players just aren't affected. Don't get us wrong, some players can be affected by, and you shouldn't be. You're a professional footballer. You shouldn't be intimidated by anyone, to be fair. You're always playing in front of fans, do you know what I mean? So you shouldn't really be intimidated. But some people do bottle it. Before, it used to make all players bottle it, like Wembley, when certain players would bottle it, like Dan Neil and all that. But obviously, we've got a lot better players than that now. So that's why it doesn't make much of a difference the higher level you go.
Yeah, but I also think that if you're having a bad game and the crowd's on your back, you know, when you get the ball, you, as a player, when it's human nature, you think, God, I hope I don't mess up again because they're already on my back. So I do think it is a thing. Right, we all the time here. Give us a quick prediction for Bournemouth, Terry.
2-1 Sunderland.
Right, Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to go same as Terry, 2-1.
Dino?
1-0 Sunderland.
1-0. Right, I've gone 2-1 as well. So we've got 3 2-1s and a 1-0. Clean sweep then for Sunderland. You had 3 points next week. Let's hope we're right. Listen, thanks for joining us. You've been superstars. Dino, just time to say goodbye to everybody, if you would, please.
Bye, everyone.
Lee?
Hasta la próxima. Buena semana. Obrigados mucho. How are the lads?
Hey! I haven't got a clue what he said, but I loved it.
I said, wrap up once it's fucking cold.
Terry, just about everybody.
It's okay because it's a bit warmer in England this week. But goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your long week at work.
Oh, are you off, like?
No.
Oh, right. Oh, God. That didn't make sense then. Listen.
It does because it's shit.
Right, listen. Right, listen. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends all about it. And if you are a member of the channel, watch your name in the credits at the end.